Greetings, my friends! I want to thank you all for subscribing. I want to thank all of my channel members for supporting me in this endeavor to save pop culture. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and I have seen Godzilla vs. Kong. I am prepared to make my witness and present my spoiler-free review. However, there is one light spoiler I need to discuss, and I will save it for the ending and give you a clear warning when you should stop watching, just in case. But honestly, this is a very light spoiler, as most of you who watch the trailer carefully will already know this, so it won't be any surprise for most of you. Before I get into my review, I should tell you how I'm approaching this movie and what my criteria for evaluation are regarding giant monster movies. So what makes a great kaiju movie? I have 3 requirements, all of which add up to one simple thing. Show me the kaiju. If a kaiju movie is going to get a good review from Doomcock, you'd better show me the monsters. I don't want to see the monsters in the dark, in the rain, in extreme close-ups. I'm not interested in seeing their damn toes. I want to see the whole damn monster. Give me adequate light to see them. That's what I put my money down for. Furthermore, I want to see the monsters fighting. So in these movies, I require competent filmmaking. No lazy-ass shaking handheld cameras as smoke and debris fill the air, obscuring our view, and all we can see are glimpses of pieces of the monster as it rampages past the camera. I hate that lazy crap. I want to see the monsters in steady camera shots, and I want to see them in wide angles so I can get a good sense of the scale of these magnificent creatures. And finally, I am sick to death of quick cuts every second or so. When you do that, it's laziness that completely disrupts the flow of the battles. You completely lose your sense of space. You know a battle is going on somewhere out there, but you can't tell who is winning, where the combatants are, what's happening in the surroundings. It's maddening. So to be clear, if you're going to get a good review from me with a kaiju movie, you'd better show me the monsters in good lighting, in wide shots that linger long enough to give a good sense of what's going on, filmed with a camera that isn't shaking like it's held by a drunk epileptic on an exercise belt. So now that we've established all this, what did I think of Godzilla vs. Kong? My friends, Godzilla vs. Kong delivers the goods. The filmmakers learned their lessons from previous entries in the series that violated the aesthetic criteria I just established, and as a result, the battles here are exciting and beautifully done. The battles are pretty damn good, bordering on brilliant at times. The lighting is quite good, the camera is never shaky, the editor is not cutting every second or so. We get to see the action in wide enough angles to really dwell on the spectacle of buildings getting flattened and planes blowing up. The character of Kong is absolutely perfectly done. This is an outstanding achievement in CGI, people. This King Kong has soul. He is a living, breathing character, and I enjoyed every moment that he was on screen. If there's a problem with this movie, Kong isn't it. Unfortunately, now we come to Godzilla. People, don't let the title of this movie confuse you. Godzilla being listed first isn't justified by the amount of screen time here. I'm sorry to say that this is really a Kong movie with Godzilla as a special guest star. That may disappoint fans who are primarily Godzilla-centric, like me, as Godzilla mainly appears in 3 battle sequences, 2 that are so close together they might as well be one towards the end. Otherwise, we mostly spend time with Kong and his human allies. That's not to say that Godzilla isn't integral to the plot. Really, Godzilla is the primary motivator of everything that happens in this movie. Even when he's off screen, his presence is felt. Everything that happens because of Godzilla, so it's not like Godzilla is tacked on. But that said, in terms of screen time, Godzilla gets the short end of the stick here. I found that to be disappointing, because honestly, I'm even more of a Godzilla fan than a Kong fan, but it is what it is. The Godzilla sequences that are there are spectacular, so it's not like Godzilla doesn't deliver the goods. He is fierce and terrifying as he's supposed to be, and perhaps his lack of screen time only multiplies the menace when he does show up. But even so, I could have done with a few more sequences of Godzilla mayhem as he rampages. They don't care about the plot, I just want to see him smash stuff. I wish there had been more of him, but I will say that the Kong portions of the movie have a lot of heart, and this movie clearly casts Kong as the good guy, Godzilla as the bad guy. All of the audience's empathy is directed towards Kong, the guy we spend most of our time with. Whether or not that's a good thing will depend on each individual viewer, so let's move on. The plot has some truly ludicrous elements, so it's best not to think about the plot too much, friends. Without getting into specific spoilers, you get the standard scene with the ragtag bunch of kids infiltrating a top-secret corporate base, which is always as dumb as a brick kicked in the head by a mentally deficient mule. And even worse, you get a scene where Godzilla breathes a stream of blue radioactive fire so intense it literally burns down to the center of the earth. A conceit I found particularly offensive since, well, that's my home. But come on, people. This is a dumb movie, so be prepared to turn your brain off or it will annoy you. I can't get into more specifics without massive spoilers, so just trust me. Don't think about this movie too much, and you'll enjoy it much more. That said, if you come to Godzilla vs. Kong mainly just looking for action sequences, you'll probably be quite happy with it, as the battles are pretty damn good, bordering in some cases on spectacular. There's a prolonged battle and rampage in the heart of Hong Kong at night, and usually night battles are exactly what I don't want to see because it makes it hard to see the action, and it often feels like a cheat to hide sketchy CGI. But here the neon glow of the buildings provides compelling lighting and makes it a very memorable action sequence indeed. In these battles, it appears that the filmmakers have listened to me, or fans like me, who are sick and tired of lazy direction, sloppy choreography, quick cuts, and shaky cameras in close-up. These battles are vastly better than those in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, much better defined, much cleaner in execution, with dynamic camera moves substituting for the much-loathed shaky cam shots that lazy idiots playing at being directors substitute too often these days for direction. In general, the human cast isn't allowed to get in the way of the fun too much. Kong's human captors/allies are generally handled well. They help to move the story along and provide a connection with Kong that feels genuine. Unfortunately, on the Godzilla side of the equation, the humans attempting to discover what Apex Cybernetics, the mandatory sinister corporation of the film, is really up to are straight up annoying. Millie Bobby Brown, who was so great in Stranger Things, was annoying and borderline obnoxious in her part. Brian Tyree Henry was supposed to be a little bit of comedy relief as the conspiracy theorist trying to get the goods on Apex Cybernetics, but he isn't funny, and he's just kind of there. And there's a third boy in the bunch that is there mainly to be bossed around by Millie Bobby Brown. A little touch of wokeness makes Hollywood go round, I guess. Really could have done without this group entirely. They were annoying and largely unnecessary. They were just there to advance the plot, and annoy me, I think. That said, this movie thankfully doesn't waste a lot of time on the humans. It focuses pretty squarely on the Kaiju, and that's exactly what we want. Overall, I recommend Godzilla vs. Kong with one caveat, and here comes the light spoiler. Okay, here it is, friends. Mechagodzilla makes an appearance, and I'm sorry, Mechagodzilla sucks in this movie. I am a huge Mechagodzilla fan. I have so many Mechagodzilla toys I can't even tell you, and I'm always looking for more, and I can tell you this, my friends, I won't be buying any Mechagodzilla toys from this movie. I hated the look of Mechagodzilla. The thing I love about this armored monstrosity from a design perspective is how clean it is. Look at the beautiful lines on the classic Mechagodzilla. You have a clear idea of its shape, It is so cool. It's a robot dinosaur and it is iconic. It is my favorite of all kaiju. Unfortunately, this Mechagodzilla is essentially a mishmash of bad angles and overly complicated surface texturing. Essentially, in this movie, Mechagodzilla is a transformer pulled straight from the ass of Michael Bay and then dropped on its head and kicked. Holy crap, what a disappointment Mechagodzilla was to this Mechagodzilla fan. I was looking forward to seeing this more than maybe any other part of the movie, and Mechagodzilla straight up sucked in his design. Now don't get me wrong, the battle with him is very good. Mechagodzilla is used to good effect in this movie, but for me, he was no fun at all to look at. Don't want to buy the toy, don't ever want to see him again. And in a kaiju movie otherwise as good as Godzilla vs. Kong, this, for me, was a crushing disappointment. Note to Hollywood, please don't emulate Michael Bay. His Transformer movies stunk. And that's it for my review of Godzilla vs. Kong. I think fans are going to enjoy this movie. Despite its flaws, it hits the sweet spot for kaiju action and will provide monster fans a few hours of honest thrills, carefully crafted and beautifully done. From the center of the earth, this is Dr. Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.